speaking and chats are prepared, but without any praise.
Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2. Test. That usually means it's still sharing, though. Test, test. Wait a minute. I'm supposed to hide that. Test 1, 2, test. Hello.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
Doing good. How about yourselves?
I'm doing okay. How am I sounding? Am I tinny or am I actually quite good?
Sounds good.
All right, cool.
It was a little bit funny that you both logged in at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be because
You've been planning in secret this whole time. I knew it.
I
Oh.
would say more like if we just mind melded at some point, we just don't know.
eh,
That would
I mean-
also make sense. You two have been very in sync character wise lately.
Let's see if we can do it again for the third time.
I mean, Jesse's got my missing frontal lobe, so
Like, this really is a case of the brain cells are just being shared.
We're practically playing pickleball with our brain cells.
All right, I'm going to use us to get the microphones kind of dialed in.
Alrighty.
okay. I'm going to try and figure out. Okay, now then, is touch to speak working?
I mean, I just heard that, so yes.
All right, are you hearing this as well now? Then yes,
Yes,
yes, you
I-
are because I am. Yeah,
Yes.
nope, that is not working. That is
Okay, I'm
There
just
we
going
go.
to keep talking while I adjust my sound. That looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and get the pre-roll stuff going. And we're going to, I'm always a little bit nervous whenever I see OBS, like I've turned the microphones off, but I still see the bar. So I'm wondering, is this playing sound? So anybody wants to jump over to Twitch and make sure we're not actually producing sound. Like, I'm trying to do that on my end too, but I don't hear anything coming from mine.
test, 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 test.
I can hear you.
It's not showing up on the feed.
What's not showing up on the feed?
As in, like, if we're talking right now, it's not showing
Oh,
up on the
okay. Do
feed.
you
So
hear like some music?
Yeah,
Playing-
I'm
Yep.
just hearing music and music only.
Oh, okay,
I
then
hear-
that's what I wanted. Thank you guys. Yeah, I wanted to have
Purple.
something that, you know, could like just play while we're getting everybody together, which so are you hiding your characters or do you want to start talking about them?
I'll gladly talk about mine. I even changed my name in the Zoom call of my character's name.
Oh, I did not notice that.
And made sure it wasn't a J this time.
Kyle, did you take a B? I swear, if you all come
Please
in
no,
with
please
variations
no.
of B, like I just got to where I could. Well, I still can't reliably call names out without mixing you two up, but I was getting better about it, and then I changed names. Oh, that's right. You're an
Actually-
Arthur.
yes, I am an A. So we've got A, B.
Now let's just see what the others do. Okay, so who wants to talk about things?
So Arthur is a redhead.
So it means if you die, no one can bring you back because you have no soul to reclaim.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, so I'm playing a variant human rogue swashbuckler who sorry, I just had a half-naked 3 or a 5-year-old come running into the room.
That is vaguely distracting, I imagine.
Yes. So yes, he is a rogue swashbuckler who, over the course of his travels as a swashbuckler in the space, came across a god who told him, you know, instead of just being a normal pirate, why don't you just tell people the wonders of adventuring? So he's also technically a cleric.
When you say technically,
Well, he's got the background, which
He's
then
more of a
also-
priest, I guess, because you're not full-blown cleric, but you are spreading the word of a god.
and because of that, I do have the feat that gives me 1 cleric spell and 2 cleric cantrips.
I gotcha.
So every so often he may go, you know, a pirate's life is a life of adventure. Would you like to go grab some loot with us? Because apparently, no matter what, if you're redheaded, that either makes you Scottish, Irish, or some variant of that entire thing that includes Lucky Charms. You guys didn't hear the accent I was going to be talking in, did you?
I did. I just didn't want to make a comment.
And I was trying to tag the other players, so I was unable to comment.
And also, it's not official yet, but I may be going to a convention which I recently found out is coming to Utah. It's called the Summit, and it is basically a community-driven Magic the Gathering event.
Oh, nice.
And I'm so used to like, oh, like a fun little local place. And I check is like Brandon Sanderson is there, and I'm just like, what? He's like very famous fantasy novelist on there, and the more I dipped into it, it's like, this is huge. It's just the more I read into it, it's just so much more.
That is cool.
And it's like,
So let me-
there's a $100 tournament where you can win a Black Lotus, and I'm just like,
So let me get this straight. The summit is reaching the peak of fantasy cons.
apparently. And there's one part of me that is, this is why I should not be trusted as money, where it's like there's a $500 VIP treatment ticket you can buy, and one of the things that sticks to me, like, you'll be permanently in the Mountains Hall of Fame, and I'm just like, I hope it's a picture, like the employee of the month, because I would love, like, everyone's doing like the arms crossed, very focused, and I'm just
Yeah.
like,
That's exactly the type of pose you would need to do.
like in honor of our official VIP guild members. And it's a picture of me.
Oh,
That's like, if everything else is like pretty much like, okay, you get access to a lounge, you get, a charging station and a pot, and like, everything at the convention, unlimited, all that stuff. But the part that sells me is like permanently in the Hall of Fame. And it's just like, oh, I hope that's the only thing that made it enticing.
all right. Archon
See-
says he's on his way. He completely forgot. There he is. We're going to give Shiv about another 5 minutes, and then we're just going to start because I've kind of been
Yo.
looking forward to this one.
Yo, what's happening?
Well, nothing. We haven't started yet because,
Are
people
we
were
still
missing.
are we still on trick roll.
Yes. I mean, it's still trick roll, but we're just doing the spell jammer.
Shit. I haven't actually written out my character for that yet.
Okay,
Oh.
well, get yourself a level 3 character built up right quick.
Yeah, I should. I know what I was building, so it shouldn't take me too long.
Alright.
And if it's VV Part 2, I swear.
No, it is. It is
VV with a blaster.
I know it's a pirate space bunny.
Huh.
Just give yourself max HP for the 3rd level, and we'll do whatever style you prefer later, rolling or taking average. I figure if I'm going to kill you in the first session, it's probably going to be because your ship explodes.
Hey, I'll get the explosion sound effect at the ready.
Oh God.
Al-
I've
Also,
just given you the game where you can use more sound effects, haven't I?
Kinda.
also, if Ars's character is a space bunny, I suggest that we do at least at one point do House of Pain jump around.
Also, his name is Walter Shipman.
One more time.
Walter Shipman.
Walter Shipman. Okay.
For those who might go over their heads, it's a reference on Walter Shipdown.
Okay, just for a second, I thought you said want a ship man. We're just like, what are you? I want a ship man. No, what is your name? Want a ship? I didn't say what you want.
And I now see that scene playing out for a while. All right. Ars, just let me know once you got your character set up. I've done everything I can to get Shiv in here. He was just building his character, and so if he's not paying attention, I'm like, we're gonna have to go on because
Yeah, I can do on the fly. I know exactly what I'm building.
well, I'm gonna give him 3 more minutes or 2 more
Harry-
minutes now.
Harrigan Swashbuckler Rogue. With the with the sailor background, but could I take spaceships instead of waterships?
Yeah, I figured unless that's just specifically called out as a different thing, it's probably close enough. Like if you take somebody from a non-spell jamming world, well, actually no, they'd have to learn how to use the helm, but the ships kind of feel the same. A lot of the things you would do on one ship, you do on the other. Like, do you know how to load a cannon? Yeah, well enough. Okay, go over there. And that is my only problem with this one is every, ship-bound weapon needs its own crew to fire because they take like 3 to 5 actions to fully load. But I think that also makes sense because most players probably don't want to spend their action in combat loading something. They want to spend it shooting something. So if you get a bigger ship, you get a crew, tell them to do all the dull work. Then you just shoot things.
Well, that's another thing. It's an action to load, then to aim, then to fire.
Exactly. So, if you got 5 people working on it, you can fire every round.
Yeah,
But
that's why, like, one of my players, his way of getting around with it, he was a high level bard. He had an automaton load enemy object so it could aim.
Oh, that's good.
Then
Yeah.
he used his action to fire it. So that's how he was able to do all those actions in one turn.
Yeah.
Get someone load and magic to aim.
They also said that if you have a familiar, it can help you out with these things. Don't ask me how a small animal is able to do all that. We're not going to question it. We're going to find a way for them to do it. Especially since last game, the other game, you now have a gazer following you around that has a telekinetic beam. Because it's based on Gylith, I'm also going to have to trade out like it's cold for an electric beam.
Yes.
Had way too much fun trying to get Gazer to show up in mid-journey. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start getting ready because, if Shiv hasn't seen my message, she's just going to have to jump in. So, did you have something you wanted to say?
Oh no, I'm just working out the
Okay.
stats. I rolled out stats just to let you know: 8 strength, 18 dexterity, 12 con, 13 intelligence, 11 wisdom, 14 charisma.
I like that you have one that's actually negative. I swear I played with people before. If they got a negative, they just re-rolled and never told me.
No, if it was a terrible stats, I would have asked if I could re-roll the stat, re-roll the entire thing. But they're actually reasonable stats, and I can actually work with.
Okay. Last question before we jump in. Does your group know each other, or are you meeting for the first time? Because I've come up with a story to start things off since I didn't get details. So whether you're a group or not, we're still starting the same way. I just want to know, do we have to go through the introduction process with everybody meeting each other?
I'm fine with either, to be honest. How do
I'm
you do?
I imagine I'm the new guy. Regardless of like if we've been together or so long, I imagine I'm like the newest member.
Does that mean that I get to act as HR and training induction?
Good, that'd be fun.
I now just picture this being like Arthur building up his group of missionaries. Like, your job is to help me spread the word of my God. Okay. Well, since I think we've got everybody pretty much here, we are going to jump over in 3, 2, 1. And I don't have my OBS button set up quite right. So let me do this the manual way. 3, 2. And now we're actually live because I didn't totally forget to add all the controls back to my OBS thing here. We're live, and I'm going to, we're not live, are we?
No, we went offline actually.
Oh, because hey, I think we're doing it now. Yeah, all my controls aren't completely messed up, and I put everything back in order, right? Don't question me. This will help when I have to re-download this later on or something, because I got the timing just perfect. Hi, I am your super professional host, Andy of Warp Films. I totally have complete control over my game in all ways, shape, and form. No, we are actually very happy. I'm very happy today because we're starting up something new. We are, like many people, jumping over into Spelljammer because I've come up with a lot of, I wanted to have fun with Space Clowns. I wanted an excuse to throw Space Clowns at these guys. That's all. This whole thing was just so I could use Space Clowns. Damn it. The most important story element in this game. Not even remotely.
So basically fighting it.
Before we actually meet the characters, let's meet the players.
And part of me is like, cool, who are they? I see what you're doing, Kyle. All right, fine. Hi, I'm Jesse Crump, also known as Crump64 on many forms of the internet. If you're any level of familiar with Trick Roll, I'm obviously a regular here. See, a long time ago, in the ancient times of role-playing games on Twitch, I met Andy through there, and ever since we've been friends, and he keeps inviting me back for some reason.
And you keep showing up for some reason. I don't know
Yeah,
why.
it's like I have no, I would say I have nothing better to do. It's like, no, I have plenty of things I could be doing, but I choose this every time.
Well, I'm glad, because I seriously can't imagine running an online game without you at this point. You're as we've joked before, you're the Sam Riegel of our group. I can't really call myself the Matt Mercer, but I guess I kind of am. I'm just not. Anyway, next up we have Kyle.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kyle. I go by Flint Ewood 756 here on Twitch. I'm also one of the people who kind of just showed up continuously to Andy's entire things and just went, this sounds like fun. And since then, he's constantly gone balder and balder as he continues to pull out more and more hair, going, "Why did I invite him? And why do
Well,
I keep
you're
letting
not
him
going to
come
be getting
back?"
invited back if you keep that commentary up. Like, I don't have too many lines, but that's one of them. This is as stable as it's going to get, but I don't think I'm losing any more. I just buzz it short. So seriously, let's not go there again.
No, I won't. I won't.
Okay. See, we're teaching a valuable lesson along the way about drawing lines in the middle of a game. Okay. Do you have anything else you want to say before?
No, that's pretty much it. You can catch me here on Twitch at Flintwood756. I'm also on Twitter, and that's pretty much it for me.
And Arshis.
Hey, I'm Arches. I am the newest and most fabulous member of this group. I'm not sure what I'm actually saying here because I am going through some stuff, but I thought driving these people insane would help me with my own insanity.
And we just think it's adorable that you think you're crazier than the rest of us.
I'm just better at hiding it.
Yeah, no, you show up for this game. You're not hiding it at all. All right. Hopefully Shivlock will show up. He was supposed to be rejoining us, but then he just completely vanished before we started. That seems to be somewhat normal. And whenever we try to get guest players in this game, if you want to be a guest player, just drop us a line somewhere. We're happy to bring people in for a little while. That's how so many start. But let us get into our new storyline that I am affectionately calling Space Chase, because I'm a super big Farscape fan. So, as I am going to load up the world we are playing in, I have a question for you on a personal level, Kyle. You know all this weird astrophysics space stuff. Can you tell us what a Terminator zone on a planet is?
A Terminator zone on a planet is actually where its gravitational input pretty much goes. You cannot come any further without crash landing into the planet.
Okay, maybe I heard it differently then, because the way I understand it, it was the planets that don't rotate and they have one livable space around the equator, because the planet is always facing the sun on one side and totally black on the other.
Oh, that's tidal lock. That's actually called tidal lock. And yeah.
Then I just heard the wrong word and I now feel foolish. No, I don't, because I heard it. Anyway, so the planet we are starting on is such a planet that is locked so that there is only for most humanoids, habitable in terms of there's a zone that is not too hot nor too cold, and the rest is burning desert or frozen wasteland. It is affectionately called No Choice, because the people who live here or visit here have no choice. It is so far out from any other region of wild space known that you are going to use up over half your air envelope just trying to get to a place where there is more. Anybody here who is capable of actually creating a Spelljammer helm is going to charge you a freaking premium for it, because they know they can. And the actual best legal business, we say legal in quotations because there's not much law here. The people here who can earn a lot are actually those who can fix your Spelljammer and get you the hell off this worthless rock. So you can imagine it's the sort of place where a lot of people who are trying to hide from other people show up. So with that, let us meet our characters. You can introduce yourselves as you like.
Stop it. Okay. All right. So what I brought forth to the table is the mountain dwarf warlock known as Baron Banhammer. And in his way for the thirst for power, he made a pact with the fiend. He does not know the true name of his patron. He just knows that he had a thirst for power, and this patron was very enticing to give him said power, and he wants to devote his ever-loving love towards his patron by ensuring that his powers are shown to the world. And since space is involved, more worlds.
I am playing Arthur Pennywhistle, a swashbuckling rogue of flaming red hair who constantly talks about his need to continuously be charitable towards other adventurers and get people into adventuring and traveling, which he's actually run into in his travels across the known space. Yeah, he's constantly bedecked in a blue bandana as well as a cheeky grin.
I am playing another swashbuckler rogue in the form of the Harrigan Water Shipman, the bunny person who is 3 foot tall but 10 foot in personality.
And just out of curiosity, what has brought you to No Choice? I mean, I know it's brought you to the tavern you're in, but how did you wind up on this forsaken planet?
There's always adventure to be had.
My fish ship crashed.
I was asked to walk the plank from my former crew.
You got
Well-
the black spot.
In a way, you could say that.
See, when they spend 2 weeks not giving you a backstory, you got to start making notes.
Basically, Baron was in a world where his patron had no power, so he tried to bring followers so he could cast spells. And not only did the crew not like that, the plane they were in did not like that. So that in an agreement to keep their heads, Baron had to go.
Well, at least they were kind enough to make you
Yeah,
walk
kind.
to maroon you on a place where, well, I'm not going to say you could survive,
Yeah.
but I get the feeling they kicked you onto the far end of the livable zone.
Yep.
But you have all, while on this planet, you've all heard that there is an interesting, mysterious person at the bar who was willing to make a deal with anyone who wanted to play his game. So you've all gathered at this tavern, and you are sitting down with this man at the back of the tavern who just said, I'm so glad that you are all here. Are you prepared for this little game of mine?
Yeah, get on with it, get on with it.
I'm a dwarf. I need to be shorter. There we go.
Well, it's simple. You have, I'm just now remembering that there's not there is a wild space time frame of standard, hours and months. They don't bother counting years because so many people can drift into the astral sea where time doesn't matter nearly as much. But so you have 12 standard months to find me, place your hand on me, and call out my name.
This is hand on him. Tell me your name. Tell me your name.
Are you really trying to win the game win the prize without playing the game?
Maybe.
You are one eager bunny.
So, to continue, along your travels, you will occasionally be giving a challenge, which will lead you to a clue to where you can find me and learn my name.
Tell me your name.
He's just
just-
ignoring you now.
I just slide over a flagon of ale to Walter and just go, please, just drink. Adventure is to be had.
Takes the flag and knocks it back. Lets out a massive burp.
So, do you agree to this game?
Oh yes, what else is there to lose except for my sanity?
What's that?
Well, that actually does bring us to the rewards and the stakes. Because if you fail, death awaits. But considering that's what all mortals face, I don't think it's that big of a deal myself. But if you can win, you'll get a wish.
Are we talking like monkey paw wish, or are we talking no strings attached, honest to goodness, your intent actually comes across in what you say?
Well,
wish?
there's probably going to be some limitations. Not going to destroy the multiverse or anything of that nature. Just you get a wish. Do you really need this explained in further detail? Most people jump at this opportunity.
Well, I'm not exactly the type of person that looks at the end user license agreement on most things I'm going to be dealing with. But at the same time, somebody says wish. I kind of want to go, that's a little bit too good to be true. But at the same time, adventure.
Oh,
fun.
trust me, this will be a challenge. You will have earned your wish. Speaking of challenges, your first one will be approaching shortly. So that brings us to the prerequisites for this game. And how many of you are actually spellcasters?
Nope.
Okay.
So I can see how the bunny got on board. You need us.
So he pulls out a gem and kind of starts to point it towards Baron, and Baron, your chair glows and becomes a Spelljammer helm. And you can they tend to have different looks, so I'm going to let you describe what it looks like.
I imagine, since if it's channeled to any level of dwarf lineage, I imagine the chair looks like as if it was carved from stone, and any kind of glow it comes out like almost like magma kind of colors.
Yes.
So like it was like forged together.
Oh, breathing magma colors.
Yes.
Yeah, there's just like veins of lava just run through it and give it a constant glow.
Yeah.
Now, because from what I understood of the helms is that, and by the way, you are automatically attuned to this one. It doesn't really, I assume it works with your normal speed, because it does appear they can travel around. They don't need to be tied to a specific ship until you take over the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Which our friend just says, now, before the first challenge begins, I will permit you each to ask one question. And I want you each to give me a wisdom check to determine the order you ask your questions.
Oh boy.
Hooray.
5 for Baron.
Oh,
Why does that
18.
always happen with your characters?
I don't know, and I have proficiency in this character, so it makes no sense.
I have a 0 wisdom. I got 18.
I got
How does this
Well,
keep
we know your
happening?
question was prepared anyway. Arthur, what was yours?
20.
20. Okay. Arthur gets to ask the first question.
Is our first challenge located on the docks here?
Mm. The solution to your problem is located on the docks. Arshus,
What is the solution to our problem?
to survive.
That I can do.
Baron,
How much longer till we can go?
he pulls out a timepiece. They're a little bit behind my estimates. This is actually a little bit embarrassing on my part. I'm normally very good at projecting. And then you hear the screams. Ah, there they are. And anybody wants to do a perception check, or you can just take off running.
Oh, but he's my character's running. I'll run off running.
Okay. So Arshus, Walter goes running out of the tavern. What do the other two of you do?
I'll go in perception because don't imagine him being that alert. I'm very sure he'd be more curious.
Okay.
And that's an 18 on the perception.
18. You hear some odd weapons discharging. It's something you've probably heard before, but not too often. You also hear the screams and the faint squeak of shoes that have squeakers in them. I did a terrible job of describing that.
I got a 23 on my perception check.
You recognize these as the beam weapons of space clowns. And there's you can also hear the roar of ships as they begin to fly over and begin shooting at people. You can actually hear a ship crash with that sound.
I just grab the dwarf and his helm and just go, we're getting out of here now before we decide to see the Cirque du Freak.
And Walter, because you're already out there, you're going to get an advantage on your initiative roll. Everyone else, regular initiative.
All right.
That's a 17.
17.
It's quite bad because I have +8.
I got a 19.
Okay.
6. Stop it, I'm short.
Yep. Okay. So let me roll a few things. Okay. So you come out and you see that there is just a slight army of space clowns that are walking through. You can also see their brightly colored ships. A few have landed, different types, but you can tell when they belong to a space clown because they are colored as such. It is as garish and brightly colored as you can imagine. Many people are fighting back. Most are just running because the clowns are, well, they're Ravengers, but from Firefly. If you get that reference.
I do.
Yeah. The only difference is that they're just bouncing, brightly colored, just painted on faces. They got their ray guns and their squeaky shoes as they just bounce towards you in a jaunty fashion. And like I said, then there's a couple that are dealing with people who are trying to fly away. These are the ground forces. And one of them beat you all on initiative as he points his gun towards Walter, who was the first person. Oh, Walter, I'm pretty sure a 20 hits you, correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's keep doing this right. You're going to take 8 points of psychic damage. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
9. See how
You need to beat a 12.
18.
18. Okay. So the beam does not have any additional effects on you. And Arthur, it is your turn. There are 3 clowns in front of you, but only one has taken to firing, by the way.
I look down to Baron and I go, fastball special.
It's been a while since I've seen such a thing. Go for it.
I just wind up and chuck him over the clowns.
Make a strength check, please. Because you're trying to throw a dwarf and his stone seat.
I imagine it's that moment where it's just the moment where he had a different perception of what was going on. So it's just a moment where Baron's eyes just get wide as he realizes it's too late to back out from this now.
20.
20.
Yep, that's Baron's right there.
I guess this should be a time to say that while I do want to try some of the new rule settings, there are some things that are still very difficult. But we're going to say that right now, in this moment, a combination of the magically hovering throne, you chunk the dwarf at the... And I didn't give these guys a great save on this. So I'm just double checking. Yeah. Two of the clowns don't see this coming, and Baron lands right on top of them. I'm going to roll some damage for them. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, so you just knocked 2 of them prone, and a third one is able to cartwheel out of the way. But none of them get to go yet because their initiative was well below yours. Walter, it is now your turn.
How far away from? Am I away? How far away am I?
Call it about because he was able to throw them. Let's call it just 15 feet.
Oh, Walter sees the one who shot him.
That was one that cartwheeled.
Yeah, and as he's cartwheel, you see this bunny just bounce, like just charge in, bounce over him, and slash him before you slash him.
Oh, okay, go for it.
That's a 17.
A 17 hits.
Okay, that is. That's 16 piercing.
Okay.
And then I'm going to disengage as a free action because I'm a swashbuckler.
Okay.
And move 15 feet back. 15 feet back. Then use my bunny hop to move up to bounce 15 feet back.
Okay.
And then I'm going to stealth.
Okay. Give me a stealth check because they were still looking at you, so that makes it very hard to hide.
Now I actually bounced over him, so I basically attacked him with the back and then disappeared.
Well, I still need you to make this stealth check.
Yeah, fair enough. That's a 9, so no.
A 9? Okay. I'm just going to
Just
double
I'm-
check his
I'm just
passive
gonna-
perception.
Double checking.
Okay. So yeah, you do all that. You rush in, you stab him, you leap over him and dive into what you think is a secure hiding spot because you're quick like the rabbit. Okay, and it is now one of the other clowns' turn who has spent half his movement getting up, but now he is right next to the thing that just landed on him. So this one is like the size of a goblin. Well, he was a goblin at one point.
Oh boy.
He is just going to... Baron, is your AC higher than a 9?
Thankfully, yes.
Okay, so he tries to just like take a slap at you, but misses and instead spins all the way around. Baron, it is now your turn.
Just go, my turn, witch bolt.
Okay. Is that an attack roll or save?
Yeah. I do
Okay.
the attack,
Okay.
and I got 17 total.
That hits.
All right, we are looking at 13 lightning damage.
13. Ooh, that's pretty good.
Since I
Uh-oh.
landed, I will gladly keep my witch bolt on him. So we just hear.
I like this. Like he was going for a shocking slap on you, and you give him a lightning bolt into the face. The other one is going to get up, and he is also going to attempt to slap you. This one got a 13.
That is exactly my armor class.
Okay. Just one sec. Oh, this was a fairly powerful hit.
Oh gosh, dang it! Why do I choose a concentration?
I did not know that when I picked it. Well, I mean, it is his ability at close range. That is going to be 16 lightning damage to you.
Okay, so what's the concentration that I have to beat?
10.
That would be, I believe, half of the damage. So you just need to make an 8.
I got exactly an 8.
Okay, you keep the concentration.
The
We are
moment
back.
You just see like a twitch.
All right. I'm just going to roll real quick to see what's happening with other people. Okay, there's plenty of people who are putting up a good fight, so nobody else joins in on you guys. The first one, the one who was prepared and got stabbed by a manic rabbit. I hate to tell you this, but his passive perception was enough to keep track of you. He shoots at you again. But he only gets a 9 on this shot, so he missed. And that brings us back to Arthur. It is your turn.
I'm going to pull out my short bow, take aim on the one that is being electrocuted
Okay.
in the shocking situation that has developed since I threw the dwarf.
It's just escalated. It started with slap, went from bolt, then just a bigger bolt.
I will sacrifice my movement for this turn to gain advantage, and I will throw a 22.
So you threw a chair and you threw a 22. What else are you throwing into this?
I'm firing an arrow at him.
Okay. What's the attack?
The attack is 22.
Okay.
I thought he was just taking signs from the bar. And it's just like,
Yeah.
Who needs sneak attack damage when you can just drop a sign on them?
You are currently muted.
Was interrupted by family.
Oh, okay, just saw
so-
your mouth moving. Want to make sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I will
and,
roll
my-
the damage right now.
My audio's been muted on this. Sorry about that. Thank you, chat, for telling me. So,
And
fortunately, when the VOD goes up, that will be fine. But yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, quick recap. They're being attacked by space clowns.
You're now up to speed.
Yes. Arthur, what was your damage?
damage, adding in sneak attack now, is 12.
12. Okay. And Walter, it is your turn. You will still have your witch bolt going on. So I know that's basically an automatic hit.
What? I'm not Walter.
No, oh, sorry. Yeah, that's right. Walter is being shot at by a taller clown. You see, one session in, and I've already mixed your names up.
All right, Archus, what do you got for us?
Yeah, hang on. Just,
If you
Right,
need a minute, we can jump down.
sorry, I had a macro for something quickly. Walter is just really not liking this clown, and it hops up onto the crate he was on, and goes, "You want to pay? You want to pay this bunny?" and he just charges him, slashes
Okay.
for a 19.
19 hits.
For a total of 16.
Okay.
I'm
Uh,
gonna
Disengage
go-
and run.
yeah.
Okay. All right then. That case, it was the goblin-sized guy's turn, and he's going to aim at Baron. Getting it. Baron, does an 11 hit you?
No.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You are a well-built dwarf because he tries to slap you again, but you just knock it aside. Now you may continue your witch bolt.
Yes, let's roll the damage for that. Oh, that's juicy. 15.
15. Oh man. So I'm trying to do math in my head here. Okay. Yeah, this guy is beaten down quite a bit. His friend is going to make another attack on you, but gets a natural 1. So he
Yes.
instead slaps his friend. And you know what? Let's do this right. Let's give him full
I
attack
imagine goes for the
damage.
slap. He catches the bolt, and just that bolt guides the hand.
All right, so his misdirected slap attack did very little damage, but it still managed to slap this guy like back into the bolt to take an extra hit.
Yay!
So they're all still up, and it is back to the top of the order. We have one who is going to make another attack. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a 23 is going to hit you this time, Arches.
It is.
So you get shot with the ray gun, and you take 5 points of psychic damage, and I need you to make that save again, please. A DC 12 wisdom save, preferably.
7.
7. Walter, this is just the funniest thing you've ever seen. Everything about this entire moment is just hilarious. You are just watching the greatest comedy show of all time, because for the next minute you are incapacitated laughing at everything.
Oh god.
You get to make a save at the end of each of your turns. And now it is Arthur's turn.
Well, the March Hare is a bit in danger, so I'm going to aim at the goblin just to try and finally finish him off, because we really need to start pinning these guys down.
Really? What makes you say that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not exactly liking this entire comedy of errors that they're trying to put on. So I will sacrifice my movement once again to gain advantage. Does a 16 hit?
16 hits. And you were aiming for the one who's just gotten slapped back into the beam.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to be honest with you. Anything you do right now is going to take him down. So you tell me how that arrow hits.
Well, it pretty much hits him right in his giant, great big red nose and pops it like a state fair water balloon.
It in fact does pop, because as you may or may not have known from the legends of these creatures, when clowns die, they do in fact pop. And everything within 5 feet of them has to make a dex save.
Oh, great. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful.
Oh,
So his buddy's got to make a dex save too.
yep. Well, no, not this one. You were shooting at the other one, so it's only Baron who has to make. Baron and the other clown.
Yeah,
Baron?
I got a 6.
You know what? The clown didn't do much better than you, and he only got a 9. So both of you are going to take acid damage
Ah!
Oh God. 14 points of acid damage for both of you.
I'm down to 3 hit points already.
Oh wow. Okay.
Hey, I heard you're a priest. Can really use that holiness right about now.
Walter, you think that clown exploding and acid splashing on people was just, tremendous. But you
Hey,
can't
also-
try to make another save.
Actually, in the situation's defense, even without the actual insanity, he would have probably found that hilarious as well.
Yes. So you can forgo that save if you just want to laugh at this.
I don't know. I rolled a 7 anyway.
Okay.
That's great.
So yes, you continue to. The other one is gone. So Baron, it is now your turn.
Gosh, what do I do in a time like? All right, so how far away is the other clown towards
Oh,
me?
he's within 5 feet of you. He's within slapping range.
Yes, that's all I need to know. It's like it's within slapping.
Yes, he is within slapping range.
Okay, so I need to disengage, and I'm gonna go towards Arthur. And just
Okay.
You got any heals on hand, or do I need to cry for my life?
Just
And-
give me a moment. Just give me a moment. I'm working on it.
Okay. And
Good. How long is that gonna be the moment?
5-10 seconds tops.
because while you disengage and run, this clown just takes out his ray gun and points it at you as you are running away, Baron.
Yeah.
Does a 13 hit.
Yes, 13 hits.
This is already becoming one of our most lethal encounters. I didn't think it would be.
Give me a
Baron,
moment. Bam.
You're having this conversation with Arthur. Can you heal me, man? Yes, I need 10 seconds. Good, because you drop dead.
Yeah.
You drop unconscious.
Yeah,
I mean.
I just seen that very perfect. Just give me a moment. Good.
That's exactly how this plays out. The first clown is going to shoot. Well, he doesn't have to worry about Walter, so he's going to aim for Arthur. Arthur, yeah, you get hit with a 19.
Oh,
So that's going to be 7 points of psychic damage, and I now need you to make a save. A wisdom save, DC 12.
So, do you want to tell him what I rolled, or
It's better to hear you say it.
4?
So now you find this whole situation absolutely hilarious, as you know, because it was perfect comedy timing for Baron to drop unconscious in front of you. Because you are all now just doubled over laughing, the clowns, well, they got other more interesting targets to work on. They can come back and always recruit you later or eat you, whatever. They eat people also. So I'm going to see if they find more interesting targets. One of them is going to rush off after someone, and the other one is going to take a pot shot at Walter, who is incapacitated. So yeah, he's going to get hit. Walter,
Actually, if I'm incapacitated, that means it will range weapons. They shoot with disadvantage.
That's if prone. Incapacitated
Oh, damn it.
is slightly
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you are an easier target for him at the moment. You are going to take 8 points of psychic damage.
And Walter is down.
Okay. Wow. In that case, that one is going to go wandering off. Arthur, I'm going to give you another opportunity to save. And then we'll get into death rolls.
9.
9 is not enough. You're going to need a 12. Okay, let's get a death save from each of you because wow.
All right. Here we go.
I misinterpreted the danger level and your reactions to this.
Not 1.
That's 2 failures.
Okay. Oh,
That's
Baron?
2.
I got a 14, so that's 1 success.
okay. Arthur, you can make another wisdom save now.
14.
The comedy of the moment seems to be wearing off as you notice the blood trickling out of Walter's ears.
Can I
You-
take an action or no?
Yes, you can take an action now.
I will cast. I will use my cantrip of spare the dying on Walter.
Okay.
That way he's stabilized.
Thank you.
Walter, that horrible migraine lessens up slightly as you just now. You know, have you ever had a headache so bad that you were asleep, but it still hurts inside your dream?
Oh
well,
yeah.
now that just went down to like, oh,
Yeah.
I can just enjoy this
Yeah.
moment of nothingness.
Yep. You're still unconscious, but now you're not dying.
Yeah.
Oh, I am so glad considering I just rolled not one. That's 2 failed death
I
saves.
know. I was legitimately like, oh God, I'm gonna have you roll up another character right away. Oh, okay.
Oh,
So we're officially out of combat at the moment, which means Arthur, you can take your time to do what you need to do.
I
I-
wind up my right hand so that it starts glowing, and then I go, rise, and smack Baron across the face using my one and only use of my spell.
What's
Cure
Oh.
wounds.
okay? I was wondering, and that spell, yeah.
the
Shocking
actual
grasp.
health you impart.
That is 1d8's worth of.
There's so
So
much
you-
tension in this moment.
You get 5. You get 5 points of health.
Hi, beautiful.
Barrett, he slaps you awake.
Oi!
Wakey, wakey, eggs and bacon. We've got to get going.
Brother?
Well, you could call me father for all I care. Let's get out of here.
Do I still have my? Where's my chair?
Actually, I imagine you kind of like when you were talking to, you were leaning forward. So I imagine you fell out and it's just hovering behind you.
Oh, it's just there.
So you're able to hop back into it.
Yeah.
And because you have a Spelljammer helm, but you don't have a ship, you know that you can basically you can take any ship you get into. If there's a Spelljammer there, you'll have to contest them for it. And
Of
there
course.
happen to be a couple of ships that are, it depends on how you want to go about this, I guess. I'm going to give you the opportunity to pick your ship for the group. You can take one of the smaller but brightly colored clown ship ones because you're not taking it away from an innocent person, or you can take another ship that may or may not have a dead owner. If you pick a ship, and I will randomly roll for this, if you pick a ship where someone is in it, you'll have to fight for it.
And we know how well we're good at those.
Yeah. So I will say that you can tell me what kind of ship you see, if for those of you who actually read the book and know what the options are, or I will randomly pick one for you.
There's a part of me just like take the clown ship, therefore they can see us possible allies, so they don't attack us again. But it can also backfire as well.
Well, if you're on a ship, you will have access to a ship to protect you from being directly shot. Smaller ones are faster. So I'm just going to, Jesse, did you review any of the vessels? Because I fear you would be more
I
likely to.
skinned them, but I'll gladly
Okay.
to review them.
So I'm just going to go ahead and say there's a few that your characters would know. The Damselfly is a fast ship that can land on land. Not all of them can land on water. It's a small ship. It's pretty fast, a little bit more nimble, and it does need a slightly larger. It can hold a larger crew than the three of you. Let's see. Let me see what else we have here. There. No, there wouldn't be a living ship here. There is a Shrike ship, and those are again pretty fast, and they have a couple of weapons, including like a piercing needle, in case you need to ram somebody.
I just imagine like the ballista crew 3 each, and like so each of it's like the ship's not going anywhere, but we're armed and ready.
Yeah. These are the ones that, like I said, they could easily land. Those two were going to be clown ships. You also see a squid ship that is setting off to the side. Despite the name, it can actually land on land. It's just shaped like a squid. This is one of the oldest vessels known to Spelljammers.
You're saying this vintage.
Yes, it is
This
a
is-
vintage
This
ship.
is the Cadillac of the Spelljammer ships.
No, this is more like the classic car that got left in someone's garage for a couple of generations.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So it technically runs. And there is also a I believe this one can land on land. I'm just going to double check. Land on land. I'm going to get tired of saying that one real quick. There is also a star moth, which usually belongs to the astral elves, and they don't always like it when other people take them.
And I don't think they'll also like the idea of a dwarf in control of that.
I'm just going to roll right quick. The only astral elf you have seen is currently lunch for a couple of clowns. So if it's his ship, he's not arguing about it right now.
Is the just to get this straight, does the astral moth actually have a glowing segment to it?
No, it's more like it has like these translucent wing type things. I'm going to try and share a picture into our chat right quick. But no, it is not a glowing ship.
I got it if you don't, Andy.
Okay. Yeah, because mine just did the invite again. So yes, please share the picture. And this is kind of the moment I need you to decide before the clowns start noticing you again.
We've got one that's like a vintage old ship. God damn it! Where's the Firefly freaking quote?
Right where you don't need it, but when you need it, it's not there.
Well, like I said, I'm going to start rolling for when you get noticed. So you have until I get above my randomly determined threshold to pick a ship and run for it. And then just the chase begins.
It's one of those things like there's a part of me like it would be awesome to go for the Star Moth, but only because of that with that knowledge that you shared. It's just like, oh, they're not using it. It's like, good.
Well,
Let's do.
somebody else could always be inside there. You don't know.
And that's those are the dice. So you
Yeah. I will say that again, I'm just going with most of you probably know the ships halfway well. Star Moth is medium speed, but also like has the lowest AC.
I just point at the old kind of Cadillac that's been left inside of somebody's garage for way too long ago. That right there, fully loaded, safety is off. Here is a recipe for unpleasantness, and we should get it right now.
So
imagine-
you're running for the squid ship.
Yes, unless somebody tells me otherwise.
I don't question it. I just there's no time to think. Must go.
Someone picking up water.
That's a good question.
I am dragging. Well, I am not just dragging. I'm picking
I
up
imagine
Walter.
you
I've got him
I imagine you put Walter onto the chair and you just push the chair as we're on it.
In all fairness, like, what's your strength?
13.
Walter is 3 foot tall.
So he's tiny. But
I'm
dense.
4'5". What are you trying to say?
Okay. I want everybody to Well, it's really not a matter of how fast you can run because that's already your speed. There is one other thing I'm going to say though, because you don't know if the ship has an owner. You do know that it can hold a fairly decent crew. In this particular case, it can hold about 13 people. So if you want to holler for any survivors, this is your chance.
I am doing so.
Okay. What do you say? Give me a charisma check and let me know what you're yelling.
I will give a persuasion check and
I will touch him and give him guidance. So it'll be an additional 1d4.
Okay.
I'm just getting into the point. I had to actually exit out for Serenity quotes, so now I'm getting back into Arthur's sheet real fast.
Okay.
Everyone, do you want to live forever? Let's get out of here because discretion is the better part of valor.
Okay. So two people absolutely see you pointing and they start running. I'm going to say there's another person who has he's got a couple of wands on holsters on each hip. He seems to take a very different reaction to seeing you all run for a ship as he draws his wands.
I got a 19, so I'm just
Okay.
going to. I'm going to look at Billy D. Wands, and I'm just going to give a roar like an angry lion.
You know what? With his other role, he's like, you know what? This guy isn't trying to eat me, and he's already got a helm ready to go. And a few other people are going to join in with that roar. So you now have 5 people who are joining you on the ship. We will name them later.
As I'm getting onto the ship, I just let out this entire roar of intimidation, like a lion with a 22 intimidation. If you need to roll,
Yeah, and that keeps the only clown nearby from like, yeah, there's better targets out there. Okay, so yeah, that managed to chase off the clown who was like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep my current meal. So you all start running for the squid ship, trying to get people on. I am going to make a roll to see how long before. Okay, the clowns they're not coming for you just yet. You start getting everybody onto the ship. From what I understand, Baron, as soon as your helm is within the ship, you can feel that there is nobody contesting your claim on this ship at the moment.
Yes.
So
I
you could,
don't like I don't like what's gonna come next though. I've read up on this.
the ship just sort of I'm gonna tone it down just a little bit from its description.
Okay, thank you. Thank
Because
you.
even they say it's not painful, but suddenly it's like your senses expand all over the ship. You can feel every part of it, and you can look around as you need to. But the ship is now yours, and it has a fly speed of 30 feet.
Just a moment where it's just like Baron's just like, I feel and see all.
Baron, what you know about this ship is that it has 2 ballista and 1, I don't know how to pronounce this, Maginot.
Yeah, I figured that's what a Maginol.
Yeah.
Mangonel. It's called
Mangonel.
Mangonel.
Maginel. Got it.
Okay. So anyway, these are your long range weapons. There are 3 of them, and the Mangonel is probably the cheapest to fire, but also takes the longest to load. You also have a piercing ram in case you
That's
just
the best
feel
part.
that. Yep, you pick the one that you can also ram into things. So if you want to direct anybody around, you're the one who knows where everything is. I assume someone is going to take the role of captain because the pilot is a different job.
No, Who's piloting the ship?
Technically, Baron is the pilot because he has the helm.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
I'm going to pick up our little our little furry friend, and I'm going to start running towards wherever a sick bay on this ship is.
I'm going to. I don't think it has a full on. Oh, this one actually is a pretty large ship, but it doesn't really have a medical quarters. There's more like there is crew quarters. There's even officer quarters, but there's not really like a dedicated, doctor on this ship. You are the doctor on this ship, is what I'm saying.
It's basically equivalent of just you just go around, there's first aid stations, and it's like, oh, thank God. And you open up, it's just Band-Aids.
Yeah, that's it. So, Baron, you're the one in control of the ship right now. You can lay there. You can just try to just hide there and hope that the clowns don't start taking ships afterwards, or you can fly away and see what happens.
It is at the moment like I'm ready to take off.
Okay, so you lift up, and you still have 5 people who don't know what to do because you've got Baron who is flying the ship. Arthur just took an unconscious rabbit man and started running down the hallway. And we can't hear you, Kyle.
I'm gonna yell for the other 5 people to follow me. I need to get this guy stored away into a bed while I start giving everybody a crash course in sailing.
You probably assume that a couple of these people know a little bit about it. Like Billy D. Wands, he looked like the type of guy who'd been on a ship before.
I just look at him and go, you're in control of, well, you look like a firing sort. So you're in control of all of armaments.
And he
Take
just
care of
whirls
that.
on the other. Okay, you two go over there, start loading that one. You get ready to fire at anything that is flying in the sky. And he just starts barking out commands like that. So they're going to be able to get a little bit going. So with that, Arthur, we're not really going to be able to focus on you as much since, if you're just tucking him away somewhere. So let me know when you re-enter the fight. Baron, I believe you do have a certain amount extent from the ship that you can see. So you there are most people are just trying to fly away, are shooting back at the elves, not the elves, the clowns. And yeah, we're going to see if anybody takes notice of you right away. So, nope. You managed to choose a vector where no one is taking immediate notice of you. So
Beautiful.
I guess the question is, you're going to need to get a little bit away from the ship before you can jump into Spelljammer speed, because there's just too much around that's going to slow you down at the moment. And let's see what Billy does. Billy finds a target and shoots at one of the ships. I'm having to jump between all these ships because I didn't write down all their stats, not knowing which one you were going to pick.
Oh, good.
So, yeah, he just got a natural 20 on this shot on a damsel fly. So I'm just trying to get the damage for that right quick. Okay. Yep, they noticed him, and they are going to be turning to give chase on you now, but it's just one. So you can fly at 35 feet per round. They can fly at 70. So, just out of curiosity, what is your game plan?
I'm just laying the train track says the train is moving at this moment. To really be brutally honest, it is where it's like, get away from threat, survive, plan later.
You are in a larger ship than them, for one thing.
Yeah.
Again, your character probably knows a little bit about these. Damselflies are small, maneuverable, and actually pretty heavily armored. But a squid ship is a little less durable, but has more health overall. So, for example, if you were to ram them at the right angle, then you would be able to change their gravity plane.
Don't tell me this. Because then it's just like it goes from no plan to only one plan.
I'm just telling you what you know about ships.
Yes,
Because otherwise I'm having the NPCs do all the fighting, and that's just not very interesting to you guys. But they are reloading their one ballista now, getting ready to shoot again.
I divert course to ramming speed.
Okay, so I know the ships don't like turn on a dime, at least not yours. So
No,
let's say
definitely
it's
not
going to
ours.
take you one round to I'm going to say it's going to take you one round to get in position, but
Yeah.
because you're also turning, they're having to like, crap, get to the other ballista. Let me they start that up. Holy crap, Billy is apparently made for this. He got another nat 20 as he
Woohoo!
shoots them again. Fucking hey, Billy, go for it, man. Yep. So another ballista lands in them. I'm gonna say that's going to throw off their attacks just a little bit. Yeah, they don't manage to shoot you because they're readjusting for your attack. Yeah. I'm just going to pull up. So when you ram with the squid ship, you get to add a +8 to your attack. So I guess I need to look up crashing rules.
Yeah, the scratching rules because the damage is between large, huge, and gargantuan.
Yeah. So based on what I saw wish I didn't have to do all this. Yeah, I've got a I know what your piercing damage is going to be. I guess you just roll a d20 and add the 8.
I will do that.
Yeah, you are flying a gargantuan ship, by the way.
Oh,
Congratulations on that.
that.
So I'm going to ask you, how do you want to try to hit the ship? Because remember, you can spin in a 360 axis.
I imagine it's just like going more towards the front it's like basically their front is like straight on. I want to try to like go and like
Okay.
basically hit their nose.
So the other thing about this is when gravity planes collide, like both your planes are like this at the moment. If you turn like this, then and you crash into them, if you have more health than they do, your gravity plane becomes their gravity plane.
Yes.
And so I guess what I'm asking is that going to be what you do?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay. Do you have proficiency with the spell jamming ships? Are you a pilot? Like vehicle proficiency?
Double checking. Not at the moment.
Okay. Then just give me we're going to call it a wisdom check to attempt to control the ship. I gave the spell jamming helm to the one guy who didn't take proficiency.
Yes. Because I did not expect this to be happen. Anyway, 10.
10. Okay. So you know how to aim the ship, but you're not able to turn to change the gravity plane. Go ahead and make your attack. So roll a d20 and add 8 to it.
All right, that'll be 18 total to hit.
18 total. I believe their AC is... So you do slam into them, but not with enough force to actually damage anything. Instead, the clowns now have the option of boarding your ship, though.
Oh, crap.
But then again, they also weren't exactly planning on this either. So let's see what they do. They're going to start, well, I guess it's a little bit hard for them to shoot at you because you did hit them on the nose, but also they're not standing on the nose firing at you. So they're gonna have to run to try to get to you. So that means that the group your group of survivors is running to the other gun, trying to aim it in time. At this range, it wouldn't be a very good shot, so they will not be taking the shot. The ship is just going to disconnect from you and circle around as they are coming in for a better angle to shoot at. But nope, they're not going to hit. So now you've already had to reorient once. Are you going to try to ram again, or are you going to run? Arthur, if you have any long range attacks, you can apply them to to your own. You can just attack the ship. You don't have to use the cannons.
I do have arrows and a short bow, so if we're within 80 feet, I can start firing at them.
Okay, because all you gotta do is be able to hit the ship and beat its damage threshold, which is admittedly very difficult and may be beyond you at this moment. So Baron, making a run for it or going to try to ram again?
As much as a player, it's like, oh, no good time to run. And then I look to Baron. Fine, we'll hit it again. Make sure it's better this time.
Okay, make another wisdom check to try to ram him one more time.
11. It's getting better.
11. Yeah, it's slightly better. You were able to try to point your ship at theirs and go for another ram because they were going for more of a shooting distance.
I think I get in the hang of this. 16.
16. You clip them, but you're not damaging them. You're gonna have to hit them pretty hard.
Damn it.
But they are now going to start shooting at you. Oh, but good God, they're let me double check what your AC is. Yeah, one of them managed to clip you with their gun. So let me just see what their damage is. Okay. Yep, your ship is now taking damage as well. I'm going to say your crew is shooting with disadvantage, so they miss. All right. Arthur?
I take it a 12. I take it a 12 doesn't hit either.
No, it does not. So
Okay.
they're still basically they're flying circles around you. So Baron, you still have the option to try to ram into them again, but they're going to be, shooting at you the whole time. So just make another wisdom check without
You got it. Okay. Oh, here we go. 19.
19. Okay, you got the hang of all this now. You start spinning the ship so that you know that your gravity will be different from theirs.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and make that ram attack.
Gladly.
You didn't make
Please
a 19,
don't tell me
did
it's a
you?
9.
Okay, then I won't tell you then. All right, moving on.
Okay. They are going to shoot at you again. All right. Arthur, do you want to try to shoot back? I'm going to say whenever you get a good navigation check that your crew can shoot regular. And that means they're able to hit.
I'm just not hitting. I'm seriously like 12.
Okay. Baron.
I'm taking this as a sign to start making course to leave.
Okay. I'm going to say make a wisdom check for that. I was just going to let you start ramming them with the 19. I was going to say you had a handle on it. Start trying to figure out how to get out of here.
All right, 21 to get out of here.
Okay, 21. You think you have a good vector. I'm going to say that within 2 rounds, you can go into spell jamming speed. So all you have to do, just know they can follow you.
Yes.
So, but with that, they also lose their advantage on their attack. It was still enough to hit you, but you can also, your crew will shoot back. I'm gonna say 21 gives them a good chance, and they blow it. They gotta hit a metal ship after all.
Yeah.
Arthur, do you want to add anything to this?
I have nothing really to add into this unless I start picking off crew members. So
I think they got cover. So if you want to aim for them, it would be they're going to have a +3 for their cover.
well, yeah, I personally am not moving. but
Okay.
It's kind of hard to judge that with the movement of the ship and everything.
Their last attack wasn't very good. So with that, Baron, do you want to give a call out to the crew before you jump into speed?
That moment, like before we jumped to speed, I just said, brace yourselves and grab onto something. I don't care what.
And with that, you jump in to spell jamming speed as everything just like goes into hyperdrive vision and then into ludicrous vision as the ship jumps into its maximum speed of 100 million miles per day as you fly away from no chance. Let's see if the elves, the clowns, think you're worth attacking. Nope. They're going to stay with the carnival. Seriously, you got lucky they were both below 10.
I like how we were not perceived as a threat after we tried to ram them twice.
I'm guessing clowns aren't really the smartest group in the world. They're not idiots, but they are, I'm going to say, pack predators.
I guess we just didn't have that punch to line them in.
It's not a punchline joke. I swear if that's a punchline joke.
Yes, that was.
Your ship has taken a total of 48 points of damage, and it can only be repaired with a mending spell, or you have to find a place to dock and pay a lot to get it repaired. Otherwise, the damage just kind of sits there.
I'm going to use my mending
Okay.
on it.
Do me a favor and double check the D&D Beyond to find out how much you can do. I think it's a 1d8 plus your spell casting, and you can only do that once per hour. But you have passed your first challenge from your mysterious benefactor, and you have survived.
Yeah.
And you only have 12 standard months to find him, find out his name, find out where he's going to be, or risk whatever this death thing he talked about was. But from here, at the moment, the galaxy is your oyster. You have a ship, you have a small crew, one of which is actually freaking proficient with weaponry, apparently. And you have a rabbit who's going to wake up in a couple of hours with a splitting headache. What do you want to do with yourselves?
This is the purest moments of I don't know, I didn't know we get this far moment for Baron. It is again, it's like he has no plan. He's just like, ship, there's a challenge. Go.
Well, Arthur's going to become going to take on the role of captain. You're obviously pilot and master and commander on this far side of the universe.
I want to see you convince the rest of your crew that you are a good pilot, because Billy D. Wan's saying like, hey, you ran off to go be playing with your little stuffed friend over there. I'm the one who was actually defending the ship. I think that makes me the captain.
I look at him, I look at him and I go, who told you to do it?
I'm the one who can do it. What, you don't even know how any of this stuff works.
Can I
As a
point my-
person who actually has proficiency in ships, I just look at him and go, you really want to test me on that one, Boyle? Because
Yeah,
I will
I
throw
do.
down. I will throw down
Make-
with you on this.
Make a persuasion check, because he's pretty confident that he is the captain.
Yes, you just rolled a nat 20.
I want you to explain to him in rational terms, not just I say it so it's true. Explain to him why you're the captain.
As a man who has spent probably the better part of his entire generational lifetime in space amongst the spelljammers, seen an actual god of adventurers and wanderers, and has been foretold by destiny to be the one to lead people on to the greatest and grandest of adventures. And the fact that when I called out, you followed, all of you, to this great and grand way to save lives. We've got to do it. I am the man behind you all because I am the one who will guide you all and bring you to the best and finest that you can be. I saw you as the armament, and you struck hard, struck fast, and brought them down. I see this as being the grandest thing that we could ever do.
Meanwhile, like Baron's just in the chair, and you just see a dwarf, and it's like, he's right. I saw it.
Billy's gonna look at you. It's like, all right, look, I'll tell you what. We get to another system, and we'll see how well you've been leading this crew. At which point we will discuss whether or not you can hire me on as a permanent hand, or whether I chunk your body off the side and take command myself. Basically, he is now the Jane of your group. He knows how weapons work, and I'll give him a stat block later. You got 4 other people who have just been taking orders so much that they're just glad they survived, and I'll figure them out later as well. But Billy
We
is
thought-
definitely a gun nut of a pirate.
We thought we'd be Farscape. We ended up being Firefly.
Oh, you know it was going to be both.
I actually have to say this as well. I foretold what would happen with the ship because I tossed the door back the clouds. Foreshadowing.
Well, Captain, where would you like to direct your ship and your crew?
First start on the right and straight on till morning.
Baron, however you interpret that.
It is that moment. Come again.
This has been
Walter, you just wake up in a hammock somewhere.
what? Where am I?
Glory and fortune, Boyle. Glory and fortune. Go
Oh.
here, and then we'll be able to search on for the rest of the clues.
And all of a sudden you see him bounce, cling on and look at you. Says who?
Says me, the captain, and you're now commander of the boarding parties.
Ah, my head. Where's the rum?
Out in the galley. Why? The last thing that you need right now
I
is
guess this would
is
be
rum.
an excellent time to point out nobody actually checked the stores on this, there's not a whole lot of food, is what I'm saying. This wasn't a ship that someone had planned to take out. You don't have stores, and you're months away from the next inhabitable civilization. That's probably going to be an excellent thing for you guys to work on next session.
Oh,
It looks
yes.
like we're going to be going whaling, boys.
And I am actually pulling up the creatures that exist out here as soon as I can find them. Well,
Let's
if you have anything you actually would like to do, we can kick into that now. Otherwise, we will wrap up a little bit early for the day because surviving was sort of the main goal I had for you, and you still almost blew that completely out of the water.
Is there any star charts?
I mean, you kind of, I'm going to say most of you having traveled from somewhere else, you know where basically the most important places are. Like, you know, you're a few weeks away from anything, but if you got a location in mind, you can head in that direction. And I would definitely recommend some people start fishing as soon as you're out of spell jamming speed.
yes. Let's go find us a great big white whale.
I'm ignoring that mostly because I know you don't know what a space whale actually looks like around here.
Nope.
Because there are these things known as scravers, and some of them are considered to be about that size.
So if we
So Billy just wanders off like he's going to get us all killed.
glory and adventure.
Hunger and starvation. I should have just stayed with the clowns. Now I'm with you clowns, and I'm going to die anyway, just more painfully.
Well, let me put it this way. It would have been a funny meal, at least while it lasted.
He's gone to find his bunk.
All right, I'm going to need to see if we've got any fishing poles on this Hulk and see if we got any bait. All right. Little Walter,
What?
you start planning how we defend against borders and how we invade other ships. You should have a classification of ships rostering. You can do that. I'm going to grab one of the others and make them into a chef's cook, make them into a galley cook and try and figure out what other provisions we got.
And if Bolt is staring at you, and even if he's 3 foot tall and incredibly cute, there's this aura about him that's also mildly intimidating.
Think of it this way. Every single Marine that you take down, you get to loot.
You see
I
him
should
bounce
also
off.
point out at this moment that intimidating aura is coming from someone who has about 1 HP left, which means he's limping around. Probably got one ear drooping. Like, you just went through a thrashing machine, and now you're going to try to at least wait until you had a rest before you start trying to throw your weight around.
No, it's just this natural aura about him. It's like it's unexplicable, and I come this off that he's got expertise in intimidation.
Well, let's go to the one person here who can actually do something productive before we bail. Baron, do you want to start using your extended senses to look for anything?
Dude,
What was that noise for?
Denny's, we need to find a space Denny's.
Why Denny's?
It's Space Costco.
A fantasy Costco where all your dreams come true?
Give me a perception check.
Yes, gladly. Okay, 14 on that check.
14. Well, you don't find Fantasy Costco. You just find the sign that points Fantasy Costco, 300 million exits in this
Oh,
direction.
God. That's a lot of jumps.
So while at spell jamming speeds, the ship will kind of naturally avoid most things unless it hits a large gravity zone it just can't avoid. But I am going to do some random rolls for that once in a while. But I think that without a game plan, this might be the best place for us to end for the night.
Yes.
Because you guys, you need to work out what your game plan is going to be. You have a ship.
Gosh,
You have a
need to
goal.
communicate and use a thing called teamwork. And
I know. And you have like less than a week before you all start to starve to death. And you're pretty sure Billy will be the first one to start saying the smallest, weakest person should be eaten first. And you do have at least one 13-year-old on the boat, but at the moment, I think that the rabbit fricassee is probably going to be on the menu first.
Like, you could try.
Again, you can barely walk at the moment. So we are going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Let's do a quick wrap up where we can find you all when you're not here. Well, I mean, this is my channel. I'm always here if I'm streaming anything. So you can also find me other places on the internet under the name Warp Films, mostly on TikTok right now, but I'm definitely trying to get back up to doing other film stuff.
I was waiting for it. I was just waiting for it. Anyway, hi, I'm Jesse Crumb, also known as Crumb64 on all levels of the internet. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, all under that name, Crumb64. Right now, I don't really have anything in the pipeline in terms of content-wise, but I do have one plan. If in November of this year in Salt Lake City, Utah, there is a convention called the Magic Summit. It is a Magic the Gathering event where it is all about Commander, Pioneer, Modern, Legacy, Sealed, and even have the pre-release of the Brothers War. And essentially, if you're in that area, I really hope to be able to sit down and play some card games with you. And that's the part of me, like, and I do hope also, with that being said, with my Magic Gathering show, Lovely Lady Commander, I hope to bring that back at some point this year, just working with the schedules of my players at the moment. So nothing to announce until we are ready.
Schedules will always be the bane of every gaming group.
Yes. I'm Ashes. You can find me on Twitter, Discord, and I just set up an Instagram account. Nothing on there yet, but I'm working on that. You can also find me here. Begin to both loving and regretting my choices of character.
Well, like I said, I kind of built some of that encounter with the idea that there was going to be more of you, or that you would all just run and not literally throw yourselves at the clowns. My mistake. Kyle.
Well, while Jesse is going to be reaching the summit, going to the summit and reaching the peak of what is Magic the Gathering conventions, I can be found here on Twitch. I will be returning to hosting Vampire the Requiem First Edition in mid-October, mainly because I'm going to be bringing it back up for reasons of my birthday and also getting everyone back involved in that game. But I will actually have a change of office because I've actually had an entire section of my house remodeled, and yeah, that's on top of my health concerns. That's also been why I've been so late on returning that. So yes, mid-October will be the return of Vampire the Requiem First Edition on my stream here at Flint Ewood 756, and you can catch me on Twitter at the same handle.
Well, I'm glad you're getting everything back up where you can start running, and same for you, Jesse, being able to bring back your gaming. And Arshis, whenever you're able to, bring forth your own stuff, because I think everybody in the world right now with any common sense understands that it's harder to do creative work than you think, because when you can't connect with your people, you're just like, that's been my thing. I got a lot of ideas, I just don't have the motivation to carry them out, or I have motivation and I don't have the ability to carry them out because I'm all out of ideas. Anyway, enough of that for now. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back in 2 weeks, and well, we're going to see if the NPCs take over the ship before you guys even get anywhere. We might be back to our other group sooner than I thought. So again, thank you, and we will see you next time. And we are clear.
Alrighty.
So I didn't quite understand what you meant, Andy.
Do what?
What you said to me earlier on.
When you're able to get your type of content you're writing and stuff, like you have your Twitter account that you just haven't done anything with.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, because
Yeah.
I'm basically saying, like, we all got our goals and we're all trying to get to a point where we can build towards them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, fair enough.
so just trying to throw out that little bit of like, yeah, I actually care about you guys, because
Mm.
I only try to keep you just happy enough to come back here. I don't care what you do outside with your lives. I don't actually consider you my friends. You're just the only people I talk to on a semi-weekly basis.
So my mind's just been all over the place lately. I've been having issues with my mental health.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I've, for sometimes it's mental health, sometimes it's physical health, sometimes you just need to take a break to relax and get yourself back where you need to be.
And right now I can barely focus. I could barely focus. I would have actually been here on time.
Yeah.
Not
a problem, man.
Yeah.
Arshis, I sort of know what's going on in your neck of the woods, because I've been talking with Sophie. So if you need, like, any time because I get off work at 5 and my son normally is in bed by 8:30. If you need to just have a moment and talk with somebody, I'm always around. Okay, man?
Thanks, man.
I would say the same, but my schedule is so far off from yours that I can't reliably be there.
Well, in all fairness, I'm usually not in bed till about. On top of all that, my sleeping pattern's been off, so I'm usually in bed about 6 in the morning and up about 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, that's not good. We need to get you back onto a regular circadian rhythm, dude.
Oh.
And I like I said before, I've spoken with Sophie on some stuff, so yeah, I know some of the other stuff that's going on. So if you do need somebody to talk to, I am around.
I appreciate that, dude.
All right. So the only thing I'm going to ask you guys, for this game is like, I set it up where, obviously I don't plan on us spending like 2 years in this setting. I mean, we could if we're really enjoying it, but the goal I have in mind, it'll be something that, you can build to, like, but you don't have to focus on all the time. If you want to forego the wishes and risk whatever happens in 12 months, you're welcome to do that. But the real quick thing is, like, if there's anything you want to do in between that, let me know, because we can visit any kind of world you can imagine. Like, next session will be a little bit of, it's been a couple of days, you're all getting hungry and your crew is ready to mutiny because Billy thinks that he can take over and save everybody from the fact that you all ran into a ship, and even I forgot about food. So yeah, we'll come up with something there, but as always, let me know what you want to do in the game.
Gotcha.
Because you've all got lives out here. You've probably got people, you got friends you can go see, you got enemies you might want to avoid at all costs because maybe you owe them $5. So just let me know what you guys want, and I will every now and then, your benefactor will give you a clue as to where he is and who he is.
Beautiful.
Because I was really expecting one of your questions to be, "What's your name?" You know, when he said, "I will now answer one question."
Well, this version where the one person was asking that, they asked twice and didn't
Yeah.
get anywhere.
Well, that's because it wasn't at the question portion of the situation.
I'm not. I'm liking Walter as a character. It's just it kind of sucks that he dropped.
Well, like I said, you wound up in a stronger fight than I thought you were. Like it was just they got lucky with their roles and you got incapacitated. Because that's one reason why I wanted to start this off at a lower level for us to kind of get used to it. And I picked Space Clowns expecting there to be at least 4, and I didn't think you were all going to take low armor classes. So
I seriously think we need to multi-class Walter into being a fighter.
well,
I get him a two-handed weapon.
anyway, Walter, it was just bad luck for him this time is all. I'm sure you will have better opportunities.
Yeah.
A lot of things are going to be like not everything will be spacefaring. Because you're going to have plenty of opportunities to do more. This is just the first session.
Sorry. If we talk about things that I want to do, Walter wants to go pirating
Yeah, they'll get that opportunity.
because he is Space Bunny Pirate.
Yeah, I figure that might be some of what you guys wind up doing. Like, obviously, one of the things you can do while you're traveling is try to find another ship and maybe make some sort of deal to get some food from them before you all starve. In fact, that can be what kicks off next game. You tell me, are you hunting or are you trying to pillage other people for food, or are you just making a deal for food? Basically, you
I've
tell
got
me how
10
you want to get your food and we'll figure it out.
I've got 10 gold, so I can try and barter for some food, at least for like a couple of weeks.
Because, well, there's also, simply working with other people, like, because ships probably travel. I mean, a lot of times, it'd be like one cargo ship, but I figure it's like, just flying alongside, being someone's guard. And because let's put it this way, if you're pirates, are you going to attack 3 ships traveling together, or are you going to look for one ship traveling alone?
Also, probably not the best to try to barter with Walter around, considering he took the alternative feature for Sailor, bad reputation.
So Walter is going to vote that you find a ship and shoot at them until they give you. Okay. One of the other things I figure is probably a standard thing among ships is that you can fly different flags. Like, hey, we're starving. We need food. We're open to negotiation is probably like a signal you can throw out to other ships. Basically, if it seems like it's a reasonable thing, let me know and I will probably let you try it. So yeah, we'll figure out what next game is going to be.
All right, sounds good.
Because you can just keep trying to fish and hope you catch enough food. But you have to travel at slower speeds.
Shall we try to find another ship and barter protecting them for food? Is that okay with the other 2 of you? Just so that we know exactly what we're going to be doing next session.
No arguments here.
Bartering might not. He's got some.
Billy agrees with Walter that you should just kill them and take their stuff.
Yeah.
Because then he can take the other boat and he can go and be a proper pirate, not you pansies.
Like you see Walter just look up and just glare.
I like your enthusiasm, but however, we're not really a crew that's the size to be able to be taken on other ships fully at this moment. Wouldn't you
No, we'll
agree?
have to take on. We'll have to find like some kind of a small merchant ship and just take their stuff.
Sounds good to me.
Because you ram them, and he looks at Baron. Actually, ram them, and then we can just jump over and kill everybody.
I just look at him. And I'm just already plotting how I'm going to just do to him what Mal did to Jane.
Oh, first, I like his
Keep him
plan.
around. He kept him around the whole time.
Yes, but he nearly blew him out in airlock. He actually
right,
threw
so,
him into an airlock and planned.
I'm officially naming this character Billy. I'll let each of you name one other character. Like, who are the NPCs?
I got a book that they're ready for this.
You got 4 more people.
Let me see. Random NPC generator.
I suggest that one of them be called Snuggums.
And
Tell me who
Walter-
Snuggums is before I make that a name.
Snuggums is the cat is the ship's cook, or at least is the press gang ship's cook. They are about 5'10" tall, look ugly as sin, but generally the nicest person that you will ever know.
and knows Walter and is terrified of him.
Okay, so Snuggums is the old Tabaxi cook,
Yeah.
who has been out in the wild space for so long, and this was like the reason he retired on this planet was because when he left the crew, they just saw. Well, he did a good job, but he didn't have much money. He didn't have a whole lot of friends out there, but he could cook. So he took up a small shop on No Chance.
By the way, it's that line that you were talking about. It's called the Twilight Zone. I was able to actually look that up since then. So it's the Twilight Zone, aka the Terminus Zone.
That was the
Um,
term I had heard, Terminus Zone.
Yeah.
I'm
When you were
going to
talking
say
about,
like
like-
Billy is kind of like Jane Dargo. You know,
Right.
he's the fighter. He thinks he can do a better job.
Yeah. Question: has anyone played Mass Effect?
I know of it, but I haven't played it.
I've played all 4 games.
Basically, Walter is basically from the Terminus systems.
Can you repeat that? I'm like every 5th word.
Walter is basically from the Terminus systems.
All right. So, I mean, are you like from a planet that had it, or is that just a Mass Effect thing? Because I don't
It's,
understand that.
he's- He's from essentially the most lawless area of the galaxy.
Okay.
So pretty much he's the wild, wild west.
Okay. Yeah, that's the fun thing again about wild space zones is you will literally hit every type. There will be some that have no spell jamming ships, and if you are flying around in front of people, that's going to be this kind of thing that really just blows their mind. And you're going to have some that are like Ravnica and very developed.
Basically, how Walter is from a majority controlled space tabaxi planet,
Hmm.
but and was kept on it as basically food. But Walter ended
So-
up just but Walter ended up literally killing the people that try to kill him, and basically kick the crap out anyone who who actually tried to start with him until he basically controlled that area and left. And unfortunately, every time he got on a ship, something happened and it crashed. He survived, but he ended up on No Way Out after his 5th crash.
So Walter is not your lucky rabbit foot.
No, he has a lucky rabbit foot.
Just
Only
fed
for
badly.
him. No, everybody else dies.
Yeah,
Okay.
pretty much.
But at the moment, NPCs, because I will make up the rest of them.
I found one in the book. It's Carrie with 2 A's. Is Kaari.
Okay. Anything else you can tell me about Carrie?
Let's go by the book. Okay. Oh, there's a
is it a-
D100. Oh, sweet.
Are they a pyromancer? Please have
All right.
fire spells.
All right. So my first roll has a face that appears stitched together. And it says their brief description. Their wants and needs. They're on a quest to kill monsters. Seems like it's that moment where it's like I have a secret or obstacle, and I'm not sure should I share this openly or not.
Yeah.
It'll be a secret from the characters, but not the players.
They are a satyr in disguise.
They're a what?
A satyr in disguise.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Now, because these are NPCs, their secrets may not come out as much, but I'm writing it
Gotcha.
down.
Yeah.
and
That's Carrie.
this might traumatize traumatized, but the Rocky Rabbit foot he has is actually his sister's.
Okay, and before we unpack that, do you have an NPC for your group?
Oh no, I'll leave this to. We'll
get into your macabre collection another time because
Yeah.
I'm sure someone will be able to question you about that.
I want another one. One of the other NPCs just to be named Peter. Plain Peter. Just the most vanilla
Plain
NPC. Yes, the most vanilla NPC that you could ever see.
Peter P. Peterson.
All right.
Yes, exactly.
Peter fits in with the character I was going to create, which is the 13-year-old street rat that was hanging out there. And he's going to have all 10s across his stats because he hasn't had enough real world experience to have developed anything else yet. I am probably going to give these like NPC, like the sidekick. That'll be how I keep track of what they can and can't do. Unless they just really become developed, in which case I'll give them a better stat block. Okay, now we just have one more. I'll come up with a name or ask Shiv to come up with one if he actually, says anything. Because I know he created a character and all. Maybe he just forgot what day it was, but I'm not going to harass him too much. So you have your crew. You have some idea of how you're going to feed yourselves. Don't worry. I don't think it's going to be a very interesting session watching you all starve to death, but it is a good spacefaring storyline. Like maybe you'll just find a planet that is uninhabited by intelligent life and you still have to hunt for your food.
But wait, if anyone does suggest that they make Walter food in the food, he will kill them.
I don't think that we're going to do that.
I'm just saying that make that threat when you're not the guy on his deathbed. Literally on the bed they put you so that you wouldn't die.
He doesn't
Your
care.
threats carry a lot more energy when you're not like, as soon as I get up out of this bed, I'm gonna kick your ass. Like, you're Wesley from The Princess Bride, threatening somebody when you can't move your body. It's hilarious that you can pull it off, but it's like, oh, I'm glad he bluffed because I can't actually move anything below my neck right now.
Yeah, like I say he can't go through with it, but like makes with bad reputation and expertise intimidation, he can bluff the scariness.
Yes, you have great intimidation, but it's still going to be a disadvantage at the moment.
Yes, I'm aware.
So, okay. Well, guys, thank you so much. I'm looking forward to some of what I've got here because
Yes.
I think that the storyline I created is going to be fun, but at the same time, making you guys like just crash land on the first planet just to try to find food before everybody dies is also going to be hilarious.
Oh yeah.
Probably more so for me than anybody else because I get to put the fear of God into you early. Oh yeah, and you're all level 4 now.
Beautiful.
Yay!
Because
Yay.
you're gonna get through these first few levels pretty quickly. Like I'm doing a Curse of Strahd game once a month, which is really hard to keep on schedule, and the DM is doing with actual experience, and I'm like, that just doesn't feel like something I can keep track of each month.
Oh, and by the way, Flint,
Yep.
you gave me an idea.
¿Cómo?
I'm multiclassing into fighter.
Yay!
Okay, well, as always, guys, send me anything over the next couple of weeks, and I will I'll come up with a couple of scenarios for you guys to obtain some food. Because if you just want to float there and travel at normal speed at the like 35-mile-an-hour speed, you can fish. And there is a chart for what you can catch. And that could be an interesting fight also. Like if you catch a giant space eel, how do you fight it on the rope?
Question.
Ooh. You electrify it. It's on a wire.
It's on a fishing line.
Still a semiconductive it's still a semiconductive material.
And what if the eel has electric power? Because I haven't checked that yet. But hey, that's the good thing about you being a pirate. You can look it up and let me know. I mean, if you catch when you're fishing, it is random. There is a chart for like what you'll catch if you catch anything. You might get a space guppy. There are people who can ride space guppies, and there are also apparently space birds. So if you find them, you know you're near an atmosphere. But all right, I'm going to go ahead and let everybody go. Oh, I've been recording this whole time. I could have stopped.